This episode of Nerds Gone Rogue is brought to you by Killers. All John ever wanted was to be normal, but the grisly murder of his parents when he was just a child left something terrible brewing inside him. John was a killer, a fact he'd accepted as he now lived on the streets, looking for a place he belonged in this world. On a night that seemed like fate, while on a train heading west, a stranger intervenes as John is on the verge of his most recent crime. His name is Professor James Conrad, and he asks John to come live with him in a group of young serial killers he has taken under his wing. Together they search for a purpose in their murderous ways. It isn't long after a new sadistic serial killer begins to terrorize Seattle, and throwing a wrench into all they are trying to accomplish. Time seems to be running out for the group to find the answers they are searching for. Where will they go? What is their purpose? And with the killing closing in, who will survive the night? Written by C. Benjamin Doyle, Killers is available now on Amazon and Amazon Kindle. Get your copy today.
We are live. What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 92.
Yeah!
Woo! Glad everybody's excited. My name is Matthew Keel. I apparently run this ship. Alongside me, I got my video producer in chief, Corey Deering. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm a little worn out because I decided to exercise like a human being.
Put on those bad idea jeans again.
I know, right? Could you imagine running 2 miles in jeans? Oh, that would be awful.
I mean, you know, milk was a bad choice. Moose.
Milk is a bad choice, especially
Moose,
when it's hot out.
Not the meme version is with us today.
That's right.
How are you? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Tahoe, I'm pretty sure he'll make an appearance. And with us from Follow Me Down is Tahoe, Nevada. How are you, sir?
How's it going? Tired as all fuck.
Yeah? Busy day?
Yeah, busy day. I work with little preschool children, and they can wear you out.
Nah.
And then I was up. I was up until midnight playing God of War 2.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure I could speak for the other two of us. We've all been playing God of War as well, so that we will probably discuss that in some detail.
Little bit.
Otherwise, tell us about Follow Me Down. What are you and how many people are hosting it now? Because like Kent and Ernesto have made 2 in a row now. Like, should I have invited them? I feel like an asshole now.
Yeah, I think Kent's been on
a bunch,
2 or 3 times. Yeah, probably since episode 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ernesto's been on. So I think this last Sunday was his second time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, officially, it's me and my brother Yehuda, and it's just basically putting our nerdy conversations just kind of out there on the internet for people to consume, enjoy, hate, whatever.
Sure.
And sort of the genesis of that was maybe, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago when The Force Awakens came out. And, basically, we're talking about it, going over all the different fan theories and stuff like that. And then, after a minute, we're like, wow, that could be a podcast right there. That's kind of more, it's kind of more or less, how it started. Probably, not too dissimilar to what's going on here.
Yep. Same thing too, except we don't talk enough about Star Wars.
Except ours didn't start that thought out. I
was
like, hey, Matt, you want to do a podcast?
I'm like,
yeah, sure.
And then eventually I said, hey, what if Moose was on the podcast? And Corey's like, I like Moose.
Yeah.
Moose, you want to be on the podcast? Moose, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Actually, your first response was, I don't know, man.
No, I don't know.
But no, I mean, I've been enjoying your content. You and I have always had like music conversations on Facebook, either in Platinum Achievements or Fathers of the Grind or Matt the B Flats, whatever. And I love how on your first episode you bring out the Yes vinyl. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Tahoe and I are like,
yeah. I'm like looking right over here, and I'm going. I can see that right there. It's like right here. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately,
I mean, literally, like, you know, got some.
Oh, there you go.
Now
that one I agree with. I don't really so much agree on Yes. But like, just because for some reason, very little prog rock does it for me. But there we go.
Yeah.
Presents. Yeah. Chili's Last Stand. That's a good time.
Yeah.
That's a good time. Okay, so Tahoe mentioned earlier he's been playing God of War. Have you been playing anything else?
Before that, I was playing a lot of Far Cry 5, which is fun as hell.
Okay.
It's a really good game. I like to call it a chaos simulator.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be, you know, in the game, be like fishing, you know, catching some rainbow trout or some sturgeon or something like that, and then all of a sudden an airplane just does a barrel roll, lands in the middle of the lake, and then like a bear on fire runs across. I mean, it's like it's like a Spike Jonze video. You know,
it's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, except like what?
Yeah, it's Fear and Loathing in Montana.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Moose, what are you playing, sir?
God of War, man.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all. I started playing Killzone Shadowfall for the challenge last week, and I was trying to get it out of the way, and it just wasn't happening. And so now I'm on the God of War train. Probably till it ends, you know, until I get to my final destination. So, which will be beating the game, probably platinuming it. So, but the platinum should be hard. I've read and heard that it's more so just time consuming.
Yeah,
than it's anything else, because there's like 4 levels of difficulty, and there's no difficulty trophy. So like, you could basically play it on easy if you wanted to.
Yeah,
so.
And then I think like the one thing that jumped out at me is like there's kill 1,000 enemies, which I'm pretty sure that'll happen.
Yeah,
that
pretty much happens. Yeah.
I mean, if it hasn't happened yet for me, I'm surprised.
Yeah, and then there's different things that you get with in the game, like certain abilities. So like they're just using those and whatnot. So
yeah, obviously we've all been playing God of War, but I turned off all notifications, so I don't even know what trophies I've popped and which ones I haven't. I just I don't want to know. I literally don't want to know anything playing through this game, and like every time I open Facebook or Twitter or something, I'm like, please don't be something God of War related. Please don't.
Yeah. I like that our groups are pretty much just like, it's awesome, I'm enjoying it. Like that's it. There's not a lot of like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened. It's like,
well, okay. I mean, I'll have to confess though, the part where Atreus crafts the glider, I would tear roll down my cheek, you know, because Atreus grew up, you know, and he crafted a glider.
He crafted a glider and then just flew away from you. He's like, I'm gonna go find a bear.
Exactly.
There's a bear named Cheeseburger that you can, you know,
that you can ride.
Yeah, I got this glider. I'm off to Hyrule.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
I got Peaches the Bobcat. We're doing this.
Exactly.
Peaches
Did
the
you see
Bobcat. That would be awesome.
No, that's it.
That's
That's the Bobcat or cougar.
The cougar in Far Cry 5.
She is a cougar. Yes. There's more than one kind of cougar in Far Cry 5.
Well, there's two cougars. One of them is an actual cougar, and the other one is an old lady who's.
I was gonna say, is there an old lady hitting on you?
Yep.
Yes.
There is.
She has a.
Go ahead.
She has a young yoga instructor boyfriend from California
named Xander.
Yes.
And I did my character as a female, and it's pretty weird how flirty she gets.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So I was traveling all last week. I played a lot of FIFA on my Switch because I really like FIFA. I like the football, soccer.
The foosball. Yeah.
The foosball. I like human foosball. Also, I actually on my girlfriend's iPad downloaded FTL and played that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I love that game. That game is so good. And if you haven't played it, it's a roguelike where you sort of are controlling a ship. And your goal is to basically, it's basically getting back to base, but it's different path every single time. And it's really tense, really fun. The music's great.
Nice.
You should play it. The people who developed it recently just released Into the Breach. But I can't play that because I don't PC game. And that's just because I don't have a PC that can play it. So
yeah. But FTL is on iPad?
Yep. It's $10.
Okay.
And
cool.
It's
Nice.
worth every penny.
I'll have to check it out.
When I got back Saturday night, I actually decided to finish Far Cry 5. I've beaten that game. And I agree with what Tahoe said. It's a very fun moment to moment gameplay. The chaos is still, it's been the same since like Far Cry 3. That's all fun. The prepper stashes are great. Taking over outposts is fun. The story in that game is consistently dog shit. And towards the end, I'm not really going to go into spoilers in case people care about it. They really try and go for a moment that they do not earn. And
I would agree with that.
It doesn't really land, and the final boss is as anticlimactic as it could be. But otherwise, like, I'm gonna do all the multiplayer stuff because I would like to platinum that game. And then yesterday I started playing God of War. After waiting for it to install, I played Burnout Paradise, which that's a different problem. But God of War is really goddamn beautiful. Yes, it is. I've hated the God of War series, and I feel like I don't know how spoilery we want to get here. I've gotten to. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say none of us have actually completed the game. So, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, no, none of us.
No,
So, I mean,
I'm only about it.
beyond, halfway.
I'm only about
9.
I'm only about like 9 or 10 hours into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about me too.
And that's with maximum exploration. So
yeah, like I'm wandering in this game a lot. I will say this: the lengths that they have gone and the work that they have done to make Kratos like redeeming is jarring.
Yes.
Like, and I mean that in the best way possible.
And it shows it in the first half hour, I would say.
Yeah. Before you reach the hub, you see this guy like trying to restrain himself, like recognizing he's dealing with a child. Like, it's fucking crazy.
The part that really hit me, and I actually Sana actually stopped and watched it too, was like, this isn't really a spoiler. It literally happens at the beginning of the game, but like when Atreus is like lighting the candles around his mother, and then you see Kratos walk in, and he looks like, he might murder the kid, but then he comes in and he has this like really heartfelt moment with, Atreus' mom, and he's like, find your way home, you're free, and then he carries her out to the log pile to burn the body. That was like such a powerful moment for that character, and right away like, okay, it's the same Kratos, but it's a different Kratos. And that was and like the music, oh my gosh. And like, I know I don't really care about music like literally at all.
You're the music fan on this podcast, Corey.
Oh, yeah, that's right. As the music guy on this podcast,
Bear McCreary.
Man, just the way that music builds in that scene, and it's so good.
Yeah,
I was like kind of emotional in that scene.
Yeah, I would even go just right to the opening screen where he's standing in front of the tree with the handprint, and he just takes a couple of deep breaths. Like, I don't know if you know, like God tears, but his eyes actually started glowing a little bit.
Yeah,
and he hugged the tree and then chopped it down. But like to me, that was when I was like, okay, I'm in. Like it helps that even though I've never played the original trilogy, I do know much of the backstory of it. I think a lot of it's pretty common knowledge anyway.
Oh yeah.
But just right from the get go, it offers up some redeeming qualities for Kratos.
Yeah, and it's like I know Matt doesn't really care for the series at all, but like as a big fan of this series, like all of them, including Ascension, like the little details that they put throughout the world that reference back to the original trilogy and Ascension and even the PSP games is like, and it's not like they're like throwing them in your face like, oh, here's a reference, remember this, remember when this happened, like no,
remember
like,
in Chains of Olympus, if you didn't get to this part in it, you don't really know what's going on right now, so
like there's a story
or the Rogue One zeroing in on the blue milk, like remember blue milk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh God.
like even the little like the Omega symbol on his back where he hangs the axe up on his back, or like there's a throwaway line in one of the scenes, like I don't want to spoil it, but they mention Kratos' brother, which only appears in one game. Like they do a good job of incorporating that old story into the game, and I'm just like, man, if they could like go back and tell that like original story of the original trilogy, but in a more meaningful, impactful way, like this game, I'm blown away by this game. I don't know yet if it tops my PlayStation exclusive list above Horizon, because Horizon was so good, but like it's definitely up there for sure. It's definitely a close one too.
Yeah. There's one, speaking of just like throwbacks, a favorite moment for me. It's a side quest. It doesn't really pertain to the story a whole lot, but there's a part where Atreus wants to free these different spirits on some of the islands around the lake. And at one point, they're talking to one spirit. And
I think that's farther than any of us are, I think.
No.
Oh,
I've
really?
done that.
Oh, I missed
no,
it.
it's a side quest.
Then I completely missed it. So go ahead.
No, but the spirit says something like, "Oh, I've been praying for someone to come along and take down this redacted god." And then he goes, "Imagine that, praying for someone to kill the gods. Like, who would you pray to?" And it's like, standing right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Well,
so I thought
that's the one where you gotta go to the.
Let me give you my card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that one was a pretty good side quest. I like that one.
I'm gonna have to go find that. I want to go find that now.
You should be able to get it.
You're
about ready to get it. So he's I believe, Matt, you said you were like right up on top.
I've been to the mountain, to the top of it. So
he's just kind of, after you follow suit with some of that stuff, some more things will be opened up. But exploring around the lake is essential, because you'll get a lot of cool resources and stuff to upgrade and build.
Yeah.
But like the puzzle chests are key, because they increase your health or your.
I've been doing all those. I've been. Some of those have been none of those have been like difficult, but there was one where if you don't get that timing perfect, you can't can't open the chest. So annoying.
It gets annoying.
But but one thing I do want to say about this, as someone in a former life who really cared about how film was made, the cinematic references here are bonkers.
Yeah.
The long shot.
Yeah, well, when there's like a really good reference to Citizen Kane, and I'll say it in our chat because I don't want to say it in spoilers, but like I'm just like, wow, that's like the way that they orchestrate that moment is crazy. And then like the fact that it seems like Kratos is like you learn early on, so I'm not calling this a spoiler, that Kratos wants to keep his origin story from Atreus.
Well,
Yeah.
it's his son, so he knows like the path his son's gonna have to walk eventually, and I think he's trying to do a good. I think he's trying to be a good dad and keep him as far away from that as possible, trying to keep his kid from having to quote unquote grow up.
Yeah,
that's mainly because I think he's also trying to be like, I've gone down that angry path, and I don't want him to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of excited for the rest of the story unfolding. Like, I'd like to see, they're gonna show who the mom is, so I'd like to figure out who the mom is. That would be cool. It'll be interesting to see what else happens, especially with the dude that shows up at the door at the house. So,
you mean drunk ass Conor McGregor?
Yeah, that kickstarts or Ryan Hoover from Fathers of the Grind, who kicks off the whole journey. So I'd like to see that all play out, and I think that'll be pretty cool. And you can like you can see that it's gonna be a pretty epic like story as it moves along. And yeah, Matt, I agree that part in the chat is that's pretty cool. Or like
just how they visually just say so much.
Yeah, and then when you get back down from the mountain, it's an even better experience. So yeah, it's pretty entertaining. But,
and then I think the one thing that and apart from all that, because I could go on for a while, I think the color palette they are using and how varied it is.
Yeah, like that tone,
it's not like, I mean, I didn't play Skyrim. Tahoe said, "No, I'm done."
He said spoilers.
Like I just feel like that they are really just letting a world be a world rather than choreographing a visual look.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, and the first time you like, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but you meet a very important character, kind of probably like 2 or 3 hours into the game, and that area you go into, where you go see where this person kind of resides, that color palette in the trees,
beautiful, yeah,
and like just how vibrant all the colors are. I'm like, I didn't even know PlayStation can produce that kind of color.
I know. You look at it, you're like, what am I looking at? Like, it's just your eyes like melt. Like it's insane how beautiful that area is. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and like I think I'm not as far as you guys, but I mean I'm pretty close. But like I think the uniqueness of Norse mythology playing with different realms is going to give a ton of freedom to play with how the environments look. As we progress forward. So,
I mean, the idea of it, yes, and I really hope that they use that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've seen that they've done some great things thus far, but like, again, it's not complete, and we've got a ways to go, and I just hope that they use it, and I'm gonna say it right now, Atreus better than Ellie.
I can't speak to that. I didn't finish Last of Us.
I agree. Yeah.
Like not like from a mechanical standpoint, from a straight character standpoint.
I'd say character, combat.
Like I think that the cool thing that they've done in this, and being as far as I am, I don't feel uncomfortable talking about it. They've given they've shown the problems of estranged parents or parents that aren't around, as well as shown that they've displayed the thoughts of a child in that situation as well, and they've given equal weight to both. And there's a moment, probably 2/3 to where I'm at, where Kratos and Atreus actually acknowledge it and have the right conversation. Not just a conversation, not just a mention like, oh, you have feelings, I have feelings, we have feelings, and we're men. It is like, hey, man, I don't know what's going on because I don't know you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I understand. I'm sorry. It's been hard. And that is fucking beautiful. Like my girlfriend, Reba, she's in grad school. She's going to be a therapist. She saw the very beginning of this game and she's like, man, this is some shitty fucking parenting. And I'm like, yes, I agree with you. Kratos is a fucking shitty character. He always has been. And that could be because the person who voice acted him prior was just yelling. And it also could be that he didn't have good enough writing to change from game to game. I only played the first God of War, didn't play 2, didn't play 3, don't fucking care. The first one bored.
Yeah,
the first one bored me enough.
2 is so good.
Great.
3 is good too.
Sure, fine. But the fact that there are little gestures of Kratos, just not verbally or vocally, he's just like showing the need to express consolation to his son. Like,
yeah. And you see that moment where he like goes to like, and then he pulls away.
Yes.
But then later he goes in and then he actually puts his hand on his shoulder.
Like there's a moment where like you're walking, I don't remember when it is from where I'm at, but some shit's about to go down and like Atreus like backs up into Kratos and Kratos just puts his arm on his shoulder. And it's like that speaks volumes. Like it's like, don't worry, we're here, you and I together. I'm like, that is fucking beautiful. And the fact that they pull it off in a way that many video games up to this point would fuck up 6 Ways from Sunday. Like I could not be happier to be playing a God of War game than I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because they have done the right thing in terms of a character that is pretty shitty and they're trying to redeem him. I fucking love it. And I cannot wait to finish it, and I cannot wait to learn what this story wants to tell.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Tahoe because he fell off of our call and I don't know where he is. So we're just gonna keep trucking. If he comes back, he comes back. If he doesn't, no hard feelings. I guess we pissed him off. Wouldn't be the first time. Probably won't be the last time. Oh, there he is. Speak of the devil.
Hey. I'm back.
Hello.
Hey.
I was worried you were gone for good, man.
No, I was having some technical difficulties, and
it happens.
I had like multiple versions of this app open, so I had to just shut everything down and restart. So. Did you turn it off and then turn it back on again?
Welcome to my life. So, anybody else have any other thoughts on God of War? We kind of just kept going while you were gone, Tom.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was actually gonna not necessarily counter, but from Moose's point about Kratos kind of wanting to protect Atreus, and kind of keep him away from all those influences and issues that he had and whatnot. I kind of take almost the opposite approach, where I think Kratos is preparing Atreus for all that stuff. Like, I think that he believes that he's been putting off the inevitable for long enough, and that even though he obviously, like nobody wants their child to go through suffering or pain, but he's preparing Atreus for okay, this is what, you got to be ready. You have to be prepared for this, And so this journey to take your mother's ashes is, but a flavor of what you may have to encounter and deal with in your life because of who you are.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I feel like the dialogue between both characters sets up both possibilities and gives them equal weight.
Yeah,
because there are a lot of times where Atreus is just happy to. It's like, wow, we did it, we're awesome, and then Kratos is stay focused. We don't know what's next.
Yeah, yeah.
Or what happens when we get to the top? How far do you think we can see? We'll see when we get there. I mean,
like a typical dad.
Yeah,
we'll see what we see when we get there.
And there's and they capture it so well.
Yeah,
and it's god damn, between last year we saw really good storytelling, and this year all of a sudden it's what was 2017? I'm God of War, bitch, and the fact that we can sit here and say that it's God of War doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. What does the wider world know about Kratos? It knows Ares and orgies.
Yeah,
that's all it knows.
Yeah, as I've always
that was a great Kratos impression.
As I've always described him, this roided out dude bro from the 90s who listens to way too much Korn. Yeah, that's how what Kratos always reminded me of.
Exactly.
And now it's oh wait, no, I have a family and I have to be responsible now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always thought my little pot shots of alcoholic dad Kratos were a bit, short-sighted. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think he's an alcoholic dad. I just think he just used it to power through. For whatever you want to take from that.
Yeah.
As I drink a beer.
Beer's delicious.
I'm not arguing.
I would say if for the listeners out there, watchers out there looking to pick up God of War, my tip would be, or something to check out. Just hang out in the boat and listen to stories.
Don't get out of the boat early.
Oh, well, the cool thing.
I mean, get out of the boat early the first time, just so you can hear Kratos go, boat time is story time.
Right, exactly. But
exactly.
The cool thing is the story will be continued once you get back in the boat, but it might take a little while before he picks it up. Because I've done that. I was listening and I hit circle by accident, got out of the boat, and they stopped the story
off, mid-sentence.
Right, and then I got back in the boat and pushed the boat away from the dock, and it took maybe a minute or two before you start back up again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
you get out of the boat, some fucked up shit happens, you get back in the boat. So anyway.
Back to the
boat time is story time, boy.
And I'm sorry, it seems really pedantic and real stupid, but how great is the fact that every time you look at something, he's like, boy.
Yeah.
Read to me.
Yeah. You go up to him and he's like, boy, because his mother taught him the runes, and so he knows some of the stuff. What is this story, boy?
And all this other stuff. Have any of you looked at the journal entries?
Yes.
How awesome? How well are those written?
They're written really well, and I like that they're from the perspective of the kid.
Yeah.
So all this stuff is some dude came to see Dad, came to stop by the house today, and him and Dad got in a fight, and it was pretty vicious. Dad supposedly killed him.
Dad doesn't seem too excited about this, so we just have to keep showing these guys.
And then what's cool is like he builds upon previous entries. So like I have some theories as to where the story's gonna go. And I ain't gonna share them because I think it's spoilers. But I'm looking forward to see if I'm right or not on like what's really happening with the story in the world. So but we can discuss that once we start recording. But anyways,
and we've gone a ways to talk about how cool this world building, this story is, the way that things are shown visually. How about the gameplay? We haven't even talked about that. How cool is it?
100% awesome. Like that was actually something I wanted to bring up before you did. Was exactly that. Like for as great as the story is, they don't skimp on the gameplay. Like I think a fair criticism, for example, of The Last of Us is that the story is absolutely fucking spectacular. Gameplay is serviceable.
I mean,
it's Naughty Dog gameplay.
To quote Jeff Gersman of Giant Bomb, what about the part where playing Last of Us sucked?
I know.
But anyway, that said, Sony Santa Monica did not skimp on the gameplay aspect of it too, and they rock that balance.
Yeah, that movement, like the way Kratos moves, like I was having a conversation with Ed the other day about the way Kratos moves, and like the way Kratos moves in that combat is the way I wanted Horizon to feel when I was at least in like movement and melee combat. As much as I love Horizon, like, and we've talked about it 100 times on the show, I thought Aloy felt a little bit heavy and a little bit like immobile. And like the way Kratos moves and dives out of the way and runs and throws his axe, like that's how I wanted Aloy to feel when I was playing Horizon.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, my one contrarian point of view is I think Aloy felt a lot lighter than Kratos does.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like
I feel like I felt she was appropriately mobile, and I feel like Kratos isn't a lot of the time, but he has enough in his repertoire to sort of deal with shit.
Yeah. I was going to say, Aloy does feel lighter than Kratos, but then again, I think Kratos, despite him kind of, especially compared to the earlier games, kind of moves much more like a tank now, but he still has much more in his repertoire of moves. Aloy still has just a pretty basic move set. And whereas Kratos,
Aloy can jump though.
True. Well, Kratos can jump at the.
He can jump gaps.
Right? He can jump at the right points, but
yeah.
I mean, Kratos has to climb with that kid hanging onto his shoulders. I'm
fair.
For what he is, I think that's like an extra.
For being as old as he is, he probably has really bad knees too.
Yeah, that's true. Like his knees,
dude, Kratos is going to have some serious arthritis. Like I don't know how. I want to know how his rotator cuffs are good.
Bring my ointment.
My favorite thing is when you find like a little hole or something, you just throw the kid in the hole and tell him to like let the chain down so you can climb up a wall.
Don't come out until you get the chain down.
Which is funny because it's like, all right, you could just climb that yourself. You could probably jump to that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, see, and there's a moment where and the puzzles in this game are really good. Like they are Legend of Zelda good. Like they're Legend of Zelda difficult as well. So it's not hard.
No. What I like about them is they're challenging, but not like too challenging. It's like
they don't keep you. They don't keep you like thinking a lot about them. They're easy to like. Okay, so I have to open this door. Okay, so I have to throw this at the gear to keep the door open. But then like there's that one room
if
where
you bring the axe back, everything drops. Well, something has to be frozen. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
And then there's that room where the ceiling starts coming down on you, and you have to like, figure out how to keep the ceiling from falling.
Oh yeah, their poor excuse for a timing puzzle.
Well, the one I came across wasn't one where a roof came down, but where you had to move floors, hit the thing, run across the hallway, call back your axe, and then do another gear, and then freeze it again to get to a certain thing. But that was in Alfheim, the Elven realm. So yeah.
But when I love it how like towards like right after you guys have been through some stuff, the kid starts deciding to troll Kratos.
Yes.
He's like, oh, you're just gonna carry that thing everywhere? I might. It's like, oh well, as long as you're not lagging behind in combat and pulling your own weight, I guess I'll allow it. I'm like,
I will.
Like, you go, Atreus. You do you, man. I mean, I hope you live enough, but Tahoe froze.
That's what I'm wondering is as this, does he get more sassy? Hello?
Well, I hope. I mean,
I wonder if that was like a sly little mechanic that they threw in kind of under the hood, but that would be interesting to find out. Like, just the more you upgrade Atreus, the more sassy he gets.
Yeah, just like eventually, like towards the end of the game, he might just be going, I'm getting sick of carrying.
He dyes his hair black. It just covers half of his face.
Okay, don't paint him with the Tobey Maguire brush. We're not doing that here.
He kind of gets more.
They're saving that for the third game.
He gets more aggressive, I should say, as you level him up. I've noticed that. Like he's definitely running around, doing more things when he's got when he do more damage and has more skills.
Like jumps on their back, chokes them out a little bit, and then kicks and flips off of them, and, and shoots an arrow.
It gives you that prompt that like Atreus has become more confident in combat, and I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
And then because like you have that. I mean, I have only had one moment where he got in any trouble. And then it just never happened again. Yeah. So I don't know if that was because I sort of found myself looking at him a lot more or getting guys close to him a lot more, which that would have been a cool thing to pay attention to, so I would know. But just the fact that you see him get in trouble once and you deal with it and it just doesn't happen again. I'm guessing that's probably
I think that's actually I think that was sort of built into that might have been a moment built in to sort of let you know, like, hey, look, after this point, he's good. He's pretty autonomous. Yeah. But I lost my point.
I love that this is not just an escort mission. Like because Last of Us, felt like an escort mission a lot of the time. Even BioShock Infinite, where Elizabeth is clearly more like she's clearly the one that should be running the goddamn show.
Yeah, right. Exactly. but instead she just like, I'm just going to open an interdimensional portal to give you some bullets.
Oh, look, Return of the Jedi's over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird, right? but like Atreus is he's a partner, and I feel like Santa Monica they did work to make sure he felt as such, and God love him for doing so.
Yeah, so I was hearing that the axe throwing mechanic in God of War was something that this guy Jonathan Dornbush at IGN had tweeted something about it, like, oh, it just feels so good to throw that axe and then recall it and have it like whip into your hands and stuff like that. And then people were like, oh, what a dork, But then actually somebody, developer at Sony Santa Monica, was like, hey, we spent 1.5 years working on that.
Yeah.
Like it's not, let the people geek out on like throwing and retrieving the axe, because we spent 1.5 years on that shit to make it just right.
There are PhD level essays about why Mario jumping feels good. Think about that for a second.
Exactly.
That's why Sony Santa Monica did that work, because that matters to a point.
Yeah, it does.
Now, one thing I love is that you can throw the axe, forget about it, get to the next section, and then just like, oh, I don't have an axe. Triangle, and it just shows up. Like,
Or you gotta like do something, like you're
gotta
gonna
wait a
work a
minute.
puzzle and it automatically comes back. Like and you're like, oh, I didn't even see it on my back. I didn't see it was missing.
But even when you have your axe, like the combat, like the hand-to-hand combat feels really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It does.
And the shield, like repelling.
Oh, that shield's good, man. That shield's good.
Yeah.
So good.
I still need to work out the timing for the parries and stuff like that. But
You and me both.
especially when my health is low, I'm just like
Yeah.
like for a
Dark
good 2
Souls
minutes
it up.
until I can
Okay.
stomp on a health crystal.
The realm I'm in right now, it's pretty crazy. It's insane. Like it gets trying, and like I've died, I don't know how many times, so countless times. So, but yeah,
I'm playing on easy. I don't want to die. I'm playing on easy. There's no difficulty trophies, so
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to bring up. Sorry. Have you guys tried the immersive mode on the HUD?
Yeah.
Like it's like they call it immersive mode, but basically you literally just turn everything off.
Yeah.
So that
you can
all
turn
you see
everything off.
is the world, and you can even set it for like you just barely tap the touchpad, and all the stats that you need to see pop up for about like 5 seconds,
which is pretty cool. It's kind of like what they did with Horizon Zero Dawn. Like that was free. That was one of the best HUDs ever. HUDs. I mean, it's like you don't see it until you need it, and then it's there as long as you need it. And then like if you're out exploring, it disappears, which is just awesome.
Yeah,
I definitely like that. I appreciate that. I might try changing the controls. Like I don't mind it's weird. Like I know people are weirded out by the fact that it's shoulder buttons, like the R1 and R1 and R2.
R1, R2.
And it's just like, okay, I've played Dark Souls and Bloodborne, so it's not really that big of a deal to have my attacks mapped there, And so, but my problem is like dodge is X, and so like I'm thinking to change.
Yeah.
I know you can change the control where you can swap X and circle, and I'm actually thinking of doing that just so that I'm more because I'm more accustomed to hitting circle to dodge out of the way for things than X. Like X feels weird.
Thank you, Bloodborne.
Bloodborne and Dark Souls, not Neo.
Not Neo, where I don't think you can change it. I think it is X.
I think you're pretty much set. Yeah, you're pretty much set in that. So
so I think long story short,
play God of War.
Play God of War. It's really good.
Yeah. I will have to say, like, the storytelling that they do makes you want to read up on Norse mythology. Like it makes you want to like go out there and like read up about it and whatnot and become more knowledgeable about it. And I was watching Kind of Funny's Greg Miller's review of God of War, and Jared Petty was on it, and he was like, I love Norse mythology. It's like one of my favorite things, and he's just like, they're just doing so many things right with this, and I'm like, that is awesome.
That's cool. I've seen a few posts and on Twitter and stuff like that of people who have finished God of War and then went out and bought Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology, which is funny because Neil Gaiman, as far as I know, that's a fiction book. It's not.
It's not. Well,
it's like his.
I mean, let's be honest, Tahoe.
Take on Norse mythology.
It could all be fake. No.
Well, I mean, it's him taking the characters and making their own stories, like his own versions of the stories. So it's not exactly like what happened in the manuscripts from like thousands of years ago. Is
like, I mean, I early decade 2000s, like I got super into like Barnes and Noble classics. And like, and I got Ovid's Metamorphosis, which is like all the Greek myths. Is there something like that for Norse? Is there anything like that?
It's like Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember the name because they actually in preparation for God of War, there's a podcast called Myths and Legends, and they did basically backstory to the game, and then interviews with some of the developers and actors and stuff like that in God of War. But a lot of the stories that they initially start off with are based on the actual Norse myths, and I'm really sorry that I'm brain farting on the name. There's like it's basically like the Norse mythology by just escaping me at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like podcasts I respect, Giant Bomb, they were saying like Baldur of Baldur's Gate is here.
Mm-hmm.
Odin of Odin's Sphere is here. I'm like, no, that's really not what we're going for. I appreciate the joke because I like both of those games, but we're here now, and like I know very little about Norse mythology. I mean, growing up in the 90s, you know, I watched the movie, the Jim Carrey movie, The Mask, where they talked about Loki for maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And get it probably wrong. And then now Loki's like a Marvel character, and who knows?
Although the Marvel character of Loki, he's much more of an anti-hero than a villain, really. But
right. And I think the Loki of Norse mythology is more like a jester and a prankster, and
yeah.
I mean, which ironically I kind of identify with. So
yeah.
I mean, I wish I could be that cool, but yeah, probably not. Mm-hmm. But and I accept it. Pranks are fun, am I right?
Yeah,
yeah, they are.
Okay, so any final thoughts on God of War?
Play the game.
Yeah, other than get it and play
it.
That's it. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I mean, sure, we could probably delve into some spoiler territory, but why?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying not to do that.
Like, I want, like, you know, somebody watching, listening, like, if they haven't played it yet, play it. You know, and experience it fresh for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted out today. I very, very, very rarely use Twitter, but I tweeted out today. I said, very rarely do I have 3 games come out in the same generation that would make my top 10 games of all time. And, you know, one is Zelda, one is Horizon, and then God of War is seemingly being on that, like leading up on that trail as well, you know, because like, you know, I mean, we all have our, you know, various top favorite games of all time lists in our head floating around, and, you know, it's interchangeable sometimes, but like, you know, this generation has just been game after game after game after game of just great quality titles. And like, I'm honestly surprised that PlayStation's first party is like really doubling down on bringing us solid single player story driven experiences, you know, and like, you know, it's Uncharted.
Who knew single player was all right?
Yeah,
I know. Meanwhile, EA and Ubisoft are like, nope, it's dead. It's a dying breed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, even if you don't like God of War, like any of the games before this, play this, because your mind will be changed within like, the first hour.
Hands up, how many of us hate God of War?
I don't hate the originals. I just wasn't
are you talking the classic? Are you talking the classic franchise, or are we talking the reboot?
I mean, I don't care about the 3 games plus the PSP games. This game is a classic. Those others, like, they might have been like, I'll say this. Gameplay wise, God of War had great hack and slash combat. I only played the first one, didn't play 2 or 3. Fucking hated playing it though. Like, I got sick of him being Ares. I'm so angry. Gods must die. And then I'm just like, But then again, we have a bunch of quick time events that are in an orgy. Really? Like, I'm supposed to be on. I mean, I could get how some 13-year-olds with their thinking with their dicks might be like, hey, he's screwing like 3 girls. That's the kind of life I want to lead, because they haven't thought about what it means to have sex with multiple girls. It's hard enough to please one woman teenagers.
Yeah.
Fair. It's a lot of work.
I mean, I'm
It
not going to speak for anybody else. I'm speaking for me. But you don't need to be
very
that
stressful.
you don't need to be that angry about everything that's happening.
It's true.
God of War 2018, like that is a game that is also a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
whether or not everybody, I mean, apart from the Metacritic score, which we know is off the goddamn charts.
Yeah.
But like
just
there
about.
are gonna be plenty of people who'll be like, it's not that good. Well, fuck them. I feel like in 10 years' time, people will still be looking at this and go, how did they do it?
Yeah.
Just like Sony Santa Monica looked at Last of Us and said, okay, what did they do right? What did they do wrong? How do we improve upon it? Because we're all standing on the shoulder. They are standing on the shoulders of giants, and we're just talking about it. So I look forward to finishing this game, and to anybody who is not interested, I suggest wait for a sale, give it a try. Or if you're so inclined, hopefully by the time things start to get super cheap with God of War, they might have a nice YouTube supercut of the dialogue, and you want to experience the gameplay, because gameplay is what matters. As far as I'm concerned. Unfortunately for the first God of War, the gameplay could not save that shitty ass story. So, I mean, and Tahoe and I were, we both like Far Cry 5. The good ass gameplay does not save the shitty ass story.
Exactly.
But we've been going a bit, and on this show we do 20 questions.
Okay.
Tahoe, you up for doing 20 questions?
Sure.
Okay. Basically, between you, Moose, and myself, it is Corey's game this week. So he has a game in his old noodle here. We have to ask a series of 20 yes or no questions. After we have 30 seconds per question. Each of us takes a turn. You're not just going to ask,
Yes.
Five questions in 1 second.
No, don't do that. After 5 questions, we have a 2-minute huddle to sort of collect our thoughts.
Okay.
After 10 questions, we have a 2-minute huddle. Hopefully, we've made some progress. We can collect our thoughts even further. At 15 questions, surprise, 2-minute huddle to once again collect our thoughts to figure out how confused we actually are. And then after 20, we have 5 minutes and a guess. If we are wrong, Corey gets a point. If we are right, we get a point.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And then if you have any questions for us along the way, we'll help you out. Corey, do you have a game?
Okay, for sure.
I'm bouncing between like a couple right now.
Okay, well, we're just gonna see. We're all Tahoe, Moose, and myself are just gonna stare at you till you pick a game.
That's fine. You can stare at me all you want. I like being looked at. That's why I started a YouTube channel.
Quit chewing your thumbs.
Not impressed.
I don't care. Neither is my wife, but she married me anyway.
We all make mistakes. Am I right?
Am I right? Oh, okay. I got a great one. Okay.
Moose. Yeah. You want to start this week, or you want me to?
You can.
I will keep track of questions in our chat.
All right.
Do you want me to time us, Corey, or are you good?
Oh, Corey's gonna time us.
Oh, crap! I gotta time you.
I can time us. I'm fine. I got the timers all set up for the show.
Yeah. And guess what? The timer never ends. We got forever. No.
Well, it does end, but it's just to speed us up a little bit. All right. Who's going first? I guess
I am.
You are. Are you ready? Set. 30 seconds.
Corey, was this initially? Oh, jeez. Was this initially released before January 1st, 2000?
2000? Initially released before 2000.
January 1st, 2000. Okay.
Okay.
Moose.
All right, 30 seconds.
I'm going to keep time.
Are you going to keep time? All right.
Yeah. After this question, I will.
Was this game initially released during this current console generation?
No.
Okay.
Tahoe.
Okay, so we've got 13 years.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
2000
feel
to
free to go,
2013.
like, exclusive, part of a series. Does it have RPG
Uh-huh.
elements? Like anything you want to ask that can try and get us to an answer. We're just trying to ask like general questions we ask all the time. Mine was actually stupid.
Was this? No, I think it was good. Was this game because now we've got like a 13-year time span?
Yeah.
Was this game developed in the West?
Yes.
I like that. Good
Meaning
question.
Good question, Tahoe.
Meaning Europe and the United States.
Okay.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, usually when they say Western, that my thought process
It
is
generally
anything
means
other than
not
Japan.
Asia.
Yeah,
Like not Asia.
yeah.
Mhm.
Are there? I hate to ask this. Are there any African developed games?
Probably.
I know of.
I'm
I mean,
not gonna
not
I'm-
totally a side question. Not
I know there's some out of.
there must be.
I know there's like there's got to be. I think there's some out of the. I want to say the Middle East.
Yeah, the one I know there are Middle Eastern
Yeah, that
developers. and
With
some
digital,
Middle East-
I want to say Devolver Digital published some of their games. I'd have to look into which ones they are exactly, but
Which
there are.
that'd be a cool thing to like find out and play and learn about and see what they've got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Considering like I don't know a ton of South America developed games either.
Mm-hmm.
But Corey, for this question,
Question 4.
yes, was this game initially released in the HD era?
No.
Okay, so Tahoe, what this means is between January 1st, 2000 and the release of the Wii, the initial Nintendo Wii.
Mm-hmm.
That's our time span.
Yeah.
And that was
Okay.
what, 2000. What was
Well, actually, no, 360 Wii, correct?
I think
Or
the
was it-
three.
Yeah, because so I just want to clarify. Technically speaking, 720 is considered HD, which
Yeah.
the 360 and
Yeah.
PS3 generation.
PS3
Can do.
generation, PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii are part of
Wii
that generation.
Okay.
So
Okay. That's
beyond
okay.
that is not happening because it was
Okay.
released then.
So now we've got a good like 10-year chunk now.
10. We've got 2000 to what?
Give or take,
2005.
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it my question?
It is
Yeah.
your question.
Yes. Do you play as a human?
Yes.
Okay.
That is 5. You now have a huddle.
You got 2 minutes. All right,
Starting
so
now.
Western developed.
Western developed.
Plays
Plays
a
a human.
Oh.
We should find out like perspective. Like, is it first person? Is it a
Yeah.
platformer?
Is it first person? Yeah, those are combat. Is there melee? Is there shooting? Now when we ask, does it involve shooting? Spells do not count. So like shooting is like archery,
shooting
guns,
equals archery and guns.
Arrows, bullets.
right? Spells,
lasers.
you know.
Okay, physical objects.
Ordnance. We should say ordnance. I guess you could. Yeah. So there's no like spells do not count as shooting. So
Okay, got it. So yeah, that's Skyrim kind of somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
Because
We
you
could
can
ask-
shoot spells or you can shoot arrows.
We could ask, does it have RPG elements? Is there multiplayer?
Exclusive
Let's go.
to console.
Is it exclusive to a console?
Should we do exclusive? Should we find out if there's any exclusivity, or
We could do that.
should we try to nail down genre first?
Well, you can do the exclusivity if you want. Like, is it when it? Now the thing is, when it was initially released, was it exclusive to a console? Like that would be the question, because we try and do initially released, because if you don't do that, there's a loophole there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask what's gonna. So it's my question.
Wait,
correct?
we how long do we have?
You have
Or
30
when
seconds
when
left.
our huddle's
30
over.
seconds. Oh, we got 30 seconds.
So it's my
Yeah,
question.
question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So what I want to ask is just it may seem like a throwaway question, but for me, if asking or eliminating if it's a PC exclusive first, I think would help out a lot.
Ask if it's exclusive to a platform.
Okay, so
that
ask if
way,
it's exclusive to PC,
Time.
Xbox, Nintendo, yeah.
if it's
Okay.
exclusive to a platform, that's how I would work.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so is this game exclusive to the Xbox 360?
No.
Okay.
Did you guys eliminate that HD era?
Yeah, he did. We did.
It's all right.
No, I thought it's the 360.
360 Wii
PS3,
and
Wii.
PS3 are the HD era. So
Yeah.
so up to them, not including them.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I was just asking exclusivity, so it's not exclusive. So now we know it's not exclusive to Xbox.
Right.
So it's either exclusive to Nintendo or Sony, or it's multi-platform.
Matt looks super confused.
So
Corey,
Yeah.
does what Tahoe said match up to what you answered? I just want to be clear.
This game, no, it did not. It was not exclusive to Xbox 360 because plus you guys eliminated that generation anyway.
Eliminating that
Okay,
generation.
so all right, so
yeah.
all right. So is it me or you, Moose? I forget.
It's you, me, and then Tahoe.
Okay,
So you're next.
So is this exclusive to a console platform at all?
Initially or overall?
Initially.
Initially, yes.
Okay.
Is this game part of a series?
Yes.
All right.
okay,
Now
is
I'm
this?
gonna throw this out there. I made sure you guys said initially, but as a hint, it has come out on other platforms since.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And probably an HD remaster. I wouldn't doubt it.
So
Play as a human.
Ooh.
What was the question I just asked?
Was this what did
you said? Yes, it was
part of a series?
Part of a series.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so
Do you want to ask first person platformer? Do you want to ask?
Yeah, pick a
RPG
genre.
elements?
Let's start.
yeah, I was gonna ask a genre. If is this game, or yeah, is this game an RPG?
no.
Okay, all right. I was going down the road of thinking Mass Effect, so
Okay.
that eliminates that. Because when Mass Effect first came out, it was exclusive to Xbox, but then 2 and 3 were multi-platform. So
Okay. Non-RPG. Not in the HD era. Was exclusive to a console. Is this a Nintendo game, Corey?
Nope.
Okay. Not a Nintendo game.
Well, hold on. Hold on. Are you asking me if it was published by Nintendo?
I asked.
He is now.
No, I want to make sure. Look, I want to make sure I give you guys a fair shot.
My question, as I meant it, was: is this initially exclusive to Nintendo?
No.
Okay.
all right.
So that means
That's 10. So
PS,
your huddle is now.
PS1, 2, Dreamcast,
All right, so I want to get into combat.
GameCube.
play as a human.
Uh-huh.
That's not a Nintendo game, so GameCube's out.
Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah, it's not Nintendo.
You said
Yeah.
you said it was not initially exclusive to Nintendo,
Yeah.
and
That
you
statement is
said
true.
it was exclusive to a console platform.
Initially, yes.
Xbox
All
One.
right, So
Are we talking
if it's
Xbox?
initially exclusive to a platform and it's not initially exclusive to Nintendo, therefore it's initially not a Nintendo game. You're confusing us.
I'm not confusing you. I'm making it more clear. But you go ahead.
I'm already pissed. I'm already pissed. Fuck you, Corey Derrick. God damn it.
See, I want see. I'm kind of off, but the only thing I can think of right now is like Ninja Gaiden or something like that, because it was on Xbox, the original Xbox,
OG Xbox,
and I think wasn't it a Nintendo franchise previous to that?
It was.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
And it's not an RPG. I could be way off base, but it's like I'm thinking like a Ninja Gaiden or something kind of that matches up ticks off those same boxes.
Yeah.
You guys have 10 seconds to finish up your huddle.
Oh,
Whose question is it? I think it's mine. Maybe.
I was 10, so Moose, it's you.
Is there? I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Is there melee combat in the game?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Is this a third-person action game?
Yes.
Ooh.
Do we know if it's Western developed?
Yeah, we did. So that kind of eliminates the.
Oh, that does eliminate. Okay, that does. Yeah, that's right. That does eliminate Ninja Gaiden.
Third-person action game developed in the West.
OG God of War?
That was the HD era.
PS2
It was previous to the HD
PS2
era.
is not HD era.
PS2
Yeah, PS2 is not HD. Yeah, PS2 is
Oh
not
shit!
HD.
It is part. Dude.
And in a lot of ways, the OG God of War was the West's answer to games like Ninja Gaiden.
Dude.
30 seconds is up.
Whose question is it?
It is me.
Yeah.
Does this game
star an angry ass character in a Greek mythology world?
No.
Fuck.
Okay.
Moose.
Lies.
Is
Kratos
there
was Eritrean all along.
is there co-op to the game?
No.
Okay. Tahoe.
So not co-op, definitely not God of War franchise.
Did we ask if
You said it was third-person action game, right?
Third-person action game, yeah. Western development.
Okay.
So wait. I want to.
What about
Oh, wait, no.
Bionic Commando? What about Contra was
Uh-huh.
Konami, so that was the East. What about Bionic Commando? Like, because that was remade later, but then Bionic Commando was out later. Was at like Nintendo, so that was like late 80s.
Oh. Okay,
That
I got
one,
to go.
5 seconds.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is this because it's part of a series? Is this franchise currently still being made?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's Beyond Good and Evil. We have a 2-minute huddle now.
Yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Is that
Okay,
a third-person
Western
action
development.
game?
It's kind of third-person
Yeah?
action.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
You asked about
Beyond
melee
Good and Evil
combat,
is third person and action oriented.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we know
Corey's
it has
trying
melee,
to troll
but we
us.
didn't. Yeah, but
He's a troll.
we didn't ask if there was shooting involved either, because there
No,
could still
we
be
didn't.
shooting.
Yeah, there could still be shooting. There's melee combat. There could be shooting.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Beyond Good and Evil is a Ubisoft game, right?
Yeah.
What about Shadow Warrior? Oh wait, that's first
Yeah?
person. Never mind. That's first person.
Or
Sorry.
Jade. What about Jade? Wait, no, it's probably 2 RPG. I was going to say Jade Empire, but
Yeah, Jade Empire is an RPG, isn't it?
And that was only on one
Yeah.
system, as far as I know. They never put it out on I mean,
that's right,
one family of systems. It wasn't put out on anything else.
Not true. You guys
What?
have 1 minute. Jade Empire is
Okay.
also on iPad.
No, I meant like
No?
consoles,
Initially,
family
motherfucker.
of consoles.
God
And
damn
it was
It's only on
initially, well,
Xbox.
it does fit.
It's
Edition, well, but
only
it's
on
not an
Xbox,
RPG, though.
What I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to help you out, guys.
Third-person adventure. Play as a human.
30 seconds left.
Who's got the first question when we come back?
Me.
16. Did you? All right.
I'm gonna ask if it's a Ubisoft game.
Single player.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
Ori, my question is: was this game a Ubisoft game?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
What do we know about?
Okay, wait.
Beyond-
Well, I'm thinking. Now my mind is shifting to Far Cry because it was originally
Far
not
Cry
even-
was
No,
not.
no.
It was
It's
not
originally
Originally, it
initially.
was Crytek.
It's
but
it's
was it
first
exclusive
person.
to
It doesn't
PC
matter.
when it first came.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
also
right.
first
Okay.
person. Yeah.
What about
Yeah, that's right.
Prince?
Okay.
What's about Prince of Persia?
Prince of Persia. Ooh,
Who did that? Was that Ubisoft?
I like
Yeah,
that. Was
Ubisoft did Prince
Ubisoft?
of
Yeah.
Persia.
Yeah,
And it
I
was
like where
initially-
you're-
Question now.
Okay, Moose.
What could I?
Does this game feature princes in Persia?
No. Does this game feature a rewind mechanic?
That's true. Does this game feature a
Ooh,
rewind
is
mechanic?
good.
A time control mechanic?
No.
Oh,
Ooh, no. Okay.
yeah. That didn't happen until like the second Prince of Persia game, didn't it?
Shit. That's the only one I know.
Sands of Time.
Sands of
So-
Time. Yeah, that was like the second one. Wasn't it?
So,
So if it's specifically the first one, then that would still be technically correct.
Rayman,
Okay.
you're not a human.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rayman.
right. Okay. Do you play royalty?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not Prince of Persia.
Not Prince of Persia. Yeah.
I say we lean
And
into
how many
Beyond
questions
Good
do we have
and Evil.
left? Like 3? Okay.
2 actually.
We've got 18.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got 19 and
Yeah, we
20, and then we get to ask the last question. So I say, what about, wasn't she a photographer? What was she in it? She was the main character was a photographer. She had a pig uncle.
Uh huh.
Was she?
And a monkey friend.
I
Yeah.
couldn't-
and a
yeah,
monkey
like
friend.
you would go around and you would take pictures with your camera, wouldn't you? Like that was a
Yeah.
mechanic of the game.
I mean, I remember her name. Her name is Jade. So I'm gonna go with that. Does this game feature a main character by the name of Jade?
Nope.
So it's not Beyond Good and Evil.
I don't know.
So we got 2 questions left.
It's
technically.
Ubisoft.
We have one question left. And it's Moose's.
Play as a human. There's melee combat. Third person. Jeez. Did we ask if there's shooting in the game?
No.
Is there
No, we
shooting?
didn't.
Is there shooting in the game?
Some.
Some.
If I know. Okay, so now we get what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
so 5 minutes.
All right, hang on. I really got to run to the bathroom, but I'll.
No
I'll
problem.
jump
Do what you
together.
gotta do.
Do what you gotta do, man.
Fuck.
Special guests showing up. Ubisoft games. I'm not up on their franchises. So
Me
human.
either.
So there's some shooting, there's melee, it's third person action, single player, on the PlayStation or, Xbox.
Right.
It could be PlayStation or PlayStation 2, Xbox, and that's pretty much it. They've got a lot of games, Ubisoft.
Matt seems super stressed out.
I am.
He is. Understandably so.
I like your haircut, Matt, by the way. Looks
Thank
nice.
you.
I will have to say that the fade looks good. The like it's.
Man, the only person that's complained about it has been Reba. So
Is it too short for her?
yeah, she's like, man, why'd you do the high and tight thing? And I'm like, I thought you wanted the high and tight thing. She's like, no.
Well, you know what you tell her? It'll grow back.
So there's some shooting in it.
Yep.
Splinter Cell.
Ooh. That's a go.
Splinter Cell.
Yeah. How many questions do we have left?
None.
We have to get to the game.
Shit.
What
Oh,
was
we
the
should have
first-
asked if it. We should have asked if it was a licensed game,
Yeah.
like Tom
What?
Clancy.
It's gotta. That's what it's gotta be.
I mean,
What's the first
what if when did
series?
when did the first Rainbow Six game come out?
What if it's
Definitely. Well, I know. Rainbow. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell came out during the Xbox era, because I remember getting the soundtrack to that game by Tobin back in like 2005 or something like that, which was definitely before the 360 came out.
I don't know.
So we've got Splinter Cell or Rainbow Six. Both are series. Both are Ubisoft games.
Remember, it's a third person
Yeah.
game.
Well, Splinter Cell is third person.
Yeah.
Remember,
Rainbow
you
Six
also,
is first person, isn't it?
What's
you
that?
also asked if they were still making this series today.
Rainbow
I did.
Six.
I asked if it was a series that was currently.
And I
Right.
said yes.
Rainbow
Rainbow
Six
yeah.
Siege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go Rainbow Six. Anybody have
Okay.
any objections?
I don't have an objection. You can go ahead and go with it, Matt.
Is this Rainbow Six?
No,
What is it?
it is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
What are they making a Splinter Cell game?
Splinter Cell Blacklist came out in 2013 and was re-released on PC in 2015 under the Uplay label.
But they're not making
Yeah, but it's not currently.
It's
in
rumored
play.
there is an
Rumors.
Amazon listing of Splinter Cell 2018.
Rumors
We don't comment on rumors and speculation, Corey.
Rumors.
Sam
We don't
Fisher
count rumors. We don't count
Appears in Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yeah, Sam Fisher
That
is in Ghost
doesn't-
Recon Wildlands.
But that doesn't mean that the series is still in development. They're still being released.
Blacklist is a current game. It's still technically
Yeah,
a current gen
I-
game
you know.
if you're merging Wii U and Switch into one generation like people are doing. Initially
Okay,
released
all
on
right.
the Xbox.
All right. See, I'm going to say this. I have a severe bone with this point, Corey.
Why?
I am very angry about
There's
this
been one
point.
released in the last 5 years. That's current.
This is Rock Band PS2 levels of anger.
But Todd Oxtraw's not on this show.
No. Moose and Tahoe are. And I'm not gonna take the point away from you, but I'm gonna be angry about it.
Is there
I'm
an
just saying.
asterisk next to it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's put an asterisk.
I'm just saying, Splinter Cell came out on a console this generation.
No, it didn't.
The Wii U. It's on the Wii U.
Oh, fuck you, man. No, stop right now. Switch is
console
this
this
generation. We know this.
Switch
Nope.
is this generation. Wii U was
Nope.
last gen, and you know
Nope.
that. Yes, it was.
According to your 7th, 8th, and 9th generation, Moose, the Wii U is listed next to the Xbox One
Oh,
and
you
PS4.
mean the person whose generational numbers we've debunked several times,
Yep.
and we keep having to
Hey,
debunk
I'm
every
using
time he
Moose's
says,
argument against him for my point.
You know what? I'm going to let your point stand, Corey. I'm going to be angry about it. And on behalf of Moose and Tahoe, I'm going to say, fuck you.
And by the way, Rainbow Six was a first-person game on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now you're just being an asshole. Now
You asked to be this first person. Use the answers to the questions.
All right, can we end this?
I never played a Rainbow Six game. Come on, man. I was just guessing.
See, that's actually where Yehuda could come in
I want to talk some spoilers about God of War, and we need to not be recording.
Okay. With the end of 20 questions and Corey's bullshit victory, that brings us to the end.
Splinter Cell.
That brings us to the end of Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 92, and I just hit the cord on my headphones. It's on my computer. Tahoe, I want you to tell us about Follow Me Down one more time.
Okay, Follow Me Down is, well, you probably know this.
I do.
From a Doors song. Doors was very big in my family, and so it sort of comes from that, from a lyric from the Doors. Follow Me Down.
When you first posted it, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, maybe it's that Bob Dylan song, "Follow You Down," and then Yehuda plays the Doors. I'm like, man, I fucking hate the Doors, but I'll be okay with this.
And so, you know, and it's the whole thing of like just sort of like, you know, like going down the rabbit hole, exactly, and just kind of like finding all, you know, just kind of going off on these little tangents, and you know, just kind of this conversational podcast where, you know, we talk about kind of, oh, did you see that trailer? Yeah, that looks really good. Or, oh, I've been watching, you know, this really cool show on Netflix and reading this badass comic. You should check it out. And, you know, hey, let's talk about God of War. You know, so yeah.
Hey, Tahoe, I know this good show named Follow Me Down. You should check out.
Dude, I will totally. That's on YouTube, right?
Yep, it is.
All right, yeah.
Are you guys anywhere else?
Check it out. I'm on Twitter at DJ Tahoe, and I don't think Yehuda's on the Twitters. And we have a Facebook group also called Follow Me Down. I think we're hovering just below 600 members right now, so
cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the best place to sort of find out what's going on with me and Follow Me Down kind of content is the Facebook page and at DJ Tahoe. You know, I'm generally, you know, retweeting video game nerdy shit or some like leftist politics, you know, as one does.
Follow Me Down, is that on iTunes, any other podcasts, or just YouTube?
Right now it's just on YouTube.
Okay.
Hopefully, you know, like we've only had 7 episodes, and you know, but looking into like trying, you know, like, you know, how to apply for like iTunes and stuff like that, because you know, right now we're just like recording it, you know, pretty much like this, like Google Hangouts, and so
if you like, so I do recommend using like a paid service, like we use Podbean. But if you just want to get it submitted onto iTunes, and you can actually change it later when you submit it to iTunes, but there is a free service called Shout Engine that you can use, and then you can use that to submit it to iTunes and Google Play.
Okay,
and
sweet.
It's a relatively simple process, just you know. So that's what we use for our platform specific ones. Nice. But this show in particular uses Podbean. A lot of people use SoundCloud. We were on SoundCloud for a while until like last year. There's that big rumor that they were going to shut down. So I was like, well, I don't want to lose any of our shows. So
yeah, exactly. I think I still have a DJ mix on SoundCloud.
You used to post them all the time. Like I love listening to those. Like you would just be like, hey, this is a weird Tahoe mix from a while back, and I'm like, all right. Well, I haven't heard the orb in years. Anyway. Moose, where can we find you?
You can find me at Svhenn on PlayStation and Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me hosting Nerds Gone Platinum with Jeff and Jason. You can tweet us at ng_platinum or email us questions, comments, concerns at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com. Our show will be doing a God of War spoiler cast coming up in the next couple weeks once we actually beat the game. So check that out at Nerds Gone Rogue under the umbrella. You'll see it up there sometime. But anyways, that's where you can find me. Matt, where can we find you?
My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me at infinite_rewind on every social media platform I choose to be on. Basically Instagram, Twitter. That's it. That's my PSN name, infinite_rewind. You can play games with me. Every so often, I try to write for ngrradio.com. The most recent thing I've written is about Burnout Paradise, but I'm going to do some more. And Corey, with your bullshit point in tow, take us home.
You can find me at CoreyNHC on Twitter and Instagram, and you can also find, by the time you hear this, our God of War review should be up by the time you hear this. So check out ngrradio.com and download our family of podcasts here on Nerds Gone Rogue, Nintendo Power Block, Nerds Gone Platinum, Arsenal X, and of course, Nerds Gone Rogue every Monday.
The bread and butter.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations on third place, by the way, Moose. Show's doing great. Proud of you.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. You've already got one bullshit point in the way. I'm not going to let you pick on Moose now.
No, dude, like Pow Block and Nerds Gone Platinum are within like 50 downloads of each other. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching.
Cool.
And until next
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for having me
Thanks,
on.
Tahoe, for joining us.
Tahoe, come back soon. Bring your Huda with
Okay.
you.
Dude, we'll do on both accounts.
Awesome.
Cool. All right.
That is it. Banana and out. I have to stop the broadcast now.